Good evening, America. You're about to listen to me, Sergeant Dave, with Remember the Fallen podcast. After the survival instincts of an 8-ton rollover accident in the Parwan province of Afghanistan in 2004, I emerged and returned to the States with an even more enduring tale of perseverance. As I navigate the troubled waters of the VA system, I gain a new perspective and a renaissance that I will share with you with a fever of enthusiasm to all patriots across the windswept fields of America. All right, here we are live in the Remember the Fallen and YouTube studio in beautiful Seminole County, USA, on the Winter Springs Oviedo line, where you'll be listening to my guests, jarheads, squids, wingnuts, ground pounders, and an occasional coastie. Maybe not. But most of all, I will be advocating to patriots that get a lump in their throat when they hear the national anthem being played at a ball game. You see, one of us can be run off, two of us can be disregarded, but a show's audience, together, we are a movement. I was fist bump pumped when I opened up the American Legion February edition when I had the part 2 of Mysteries of the Mind, the journey inward. Research shows that how the ancient practice of transcendental meditation can help veterans confronting PTSD. I want to thank Jeff Stouffer for this great article that you're about to hear from Sergeant Dave. Bob Ouellette was an explosive ordnance disposal specialist in the Army as the terrorism tensions escalated in the post-Desert Storm era. His duties included investigating any unattended briefcase or container that may blow up in his face, killing him or others. He spent much of his service time in the Washington, D.C. area, but also traveled the world to protect the president and other top U.S. officials. Boy, I want that job. In a 3-week period during the Gulf War, he never knew when one of the 73 suspect packages he personally inspected would invite death. Such pressure, he later discovered, had a way of rewiring his brain. That's an awful lot of calls, an awful lot of stress, says Ouellette, now a civilian secretary specialist for the Department of Defense. Every time you turn around, it's like, is this one for real? I don't like walking by trash cans. I don't like sitting with my back to the door. Yeah, you're not alone. I don't like crowded situations. You're not alone. I exhibit all those signs of PTSD. He was never so diagnosed, but the effect was felt. Acting on a mantra Ouellette learned in his training as a non-commissioned officer, know yourself and seek self-improvement. He was issued an altogether different mantra from an ancient practice, Transcendental meditation. It's called TM. About 6 years ago, it was a seemingly counterintuitive approach for a veteran who specially required intense, high-stress precision and focus. When I found TM, Transcendental meditation, it just enabled me to relax. Creativity workload, it seems you're able to handle more, do more, and it's not stressful. Those who practice TM say the key to unlocking clear thought and function, no matter the situation, is to spend 20 minutes twice a day deliberately thinking about nothing, allowing the brain to essentially have a mind of its own. Transcendental meditation is a technique of the mind, explains Tony Nader, an MIT-educated brain scientist, doctor, author, and international leader of the TM movement. You sit quietly in a chair, you close your eyes, allow the mind to take its natural tendency, which is to go toward more. We are always searching for more in life. This is the nature of the mind. What we do is turn the mind inward and allow it to dive toward itself. The inner, deeper level of the self is something which is extremely soothing and calming. The source of intelligence, of creativity, of thought is all within us. So diving back toward ourselves, the mind settles down. Transcendental meditation as a treatment for veterans diagnosed with PTSD is not a new age fad. It has roots in the ancient noble warrior classes, where acting out of fear or anger brought disaster or defeat, writes TM instructor Bob Roth, author of the New York Times best-selling book, Strength in Stillness, The Power of the Transcendental Meditation. A 3-year DoD-funded study at the VA San Diego healthcare system indicated that 61% of veterans in the program experienced clinically meaningful improvements in PTSD symptoms by using TM. The prestigious Lancet Psychiatry Journal published the results in November 2018, a breakthrough in scientific validation for the practice. Researchers compared TM with prolonged exposure therapy and health education treatment, and news of its effectiveness was covered by the New York Times, the Washington Post, NBC News, and ABC News. What about Epoch Times? The clinical trials involved 203 veterans diagnosed with PTSD. One, a Navy veteran whose diagnosis was linked to military sexual trauma, was quoted about the transformation she experienced participating in the study. Through TM, I began to heal. I began to come out of my nightmares and face the battle ahead. I began to attend treatment sessions faithfully. I began to drive, and I started community college. I got the courage to apply for a job in a hospital. This program has given me my life back. Give it a chance if you got these symptoms out there. Ouellette observed a similar outcome for a skeptical Air Force sergeant who was always stressed out. He says, I told her, you might benefit from this, she said. My mind is always racing. I can't do this. She decided, despite her doubts, to give it a chance. She said she was totally changed. It calmed her down. I got a thank you note from her for introducing her to it. The Lancet interpreted the San Diego study by stating that transcendental meditation might be a viable option for decreasing the severity of PTSD symptoms in veterans and represents an efficacious alternative for veterans who prefer not to receive or who do not respond to traditional exposure-based treatments of PTSD. Yeah, like about 50% of them. A resolution passed at the 98th American Legion National Convention in 2016 called on Congress to fund collaborative DoD-VA research projects into innovative treatment programs for PTSD, particularly those that do not rely on prescription drugs. Further study and accessibility of alternative treatments has also been a consistent recommendation from the American Legion's TBI PTSD Committee for nearly a decade. So too has been the committee's message that no two diagnoses are exactly alike. Isn't that the truth? Amen. So treatment should be tailored for each individual set of conditions. For veterans who experience combat stress for extended periods, Nader explains what we are facing is a dramatic transformation in the wiring of the brains of these young service people. He says the nervous system is divided in a simplistic way into two parts. There's what we can call the new brain, and there is the more animal instinct-oriented part of the brain, which is more the limbic system inside, deeper in the brain. The old brain, the lower brain, is what protects us from danger. That is the most important. The brain is wired so that when you are in a stressful situation, a dangerous situation, it activates automatically these processes so you can react quickly. The new brain takes time to analyze and react. In a sense, the fight-or-flight chemistry of the brain becomes highly stimulated in combat or other stressful situations. Our brain is wired to defend us from danger without having us to think about it, Nader says. You see something jumping at you, a tiger in the forest, you don't have to think about it. This reaction is either you run away or you fight. Fight or flight. We are deeply wired like that for the dangers of the jungle. For young people who have lived otherwise comfortable lives, the shift to extend life or death combat stress triggers changes that can be difficult to reverse. In a combat situation, they are facing exactly the condition of the jungle because their life is threatened and they have to kill the threatening people. There is this very, very deep instinct that is awakened. So the wiring that takes care of this fight or flight response gets more and more enhanced. It becomes so powerful and so wired that when they come back to normal life, becomes so powerful and wired once again, so when they come back to normal life, their wiring is different. And everything is now a potential threat. They are living in a constant threat situation. Hyper-arousal. You cannot just talk to these people and tell them to calm down. Transcendental meditation roots run 5,000 years deep to the ancient Vedic tradition in India. The practice climbed into popularity in the 1960s when Nader's predecessor, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, led the modern movement and gained a celebrity following, including members of the Beatles, the Beach Boys, and the Rolling Stones. Some people think it's hippie, Ouellette says. There are also people who have a built-in bias against something new. This isn't new. As far as the world goes, it's just different thinking. Meditation practices, including mindful awareness, which also has ancient Asian roots, have had a resurgence of interest as a subject for serious scientific inquiry. VA's recent research, including clinical trials whose results were published in 2018 by the American Psychiatric Association, showed positive results for mindful-based stress reduction after more than 200 veterans with PTSD participated in an 8-week study. While mindfulness focuses on the present rather than revisiting the past or worrying about the future, and concentration about a particular experience, like eating or exercise. TM is about letting the mind go where it will, the opposite of focus or deliberate thought. Though cautions about meditation practices as an answer for veterans with PTSD, especially those with serious mental health conditions, VA has given it serious study, generally coming away with enough evidence and clinical trials to continue pursuing it. As with all complementary and integrative health approaches, mindfulness-based meditation should be a supplement to, not a replacement for, trauma-focused behavioral psychotherapies. The journal Psychiatric Research and Clinical Practice recommended. Additional studies are needed. We've had over 500 more research studies on the benefits of TM, Nader says. For PTSD specifically, there is more and more rigorous research. It's a growing body. Ouellette says he has been seeing more studies about TM than mindful awareness, but adds that when a veteran, regardless of a PTSD diagnosis, says he or she is feeling terrible, is stressed out, is in a bad place, thinking of doing something bad, TM should not be ruled out because of any stereotypes or cultural biases. Nader says nearly 12 million people worldwide now practice it, and such a high-profile advocates as the David Lynch Foundation, as well as the Transcendental Meditation International website itself, have dedicated platforms that describe the benefits specifically for veterans. Some skepticism is based on a perception that TM is a religious activity or is a specific spiritual or ideological bent. To the contrary, we have found people becoming more understanding of their religion, more at peace with their God. Oh my God, do not do TM in China, because the CCP might put you away like they've done to the Galung Fong, right? And they'll harvest your organ. So veterans, do not practice this in China. Some skepticism is based on a perception that TM, once again, is a religious activity. Okay? So we got to watch out for that, okay? We used to say that if religion is to invite God to your home, TM can be like cleaning your home. Ouellette agrees. You're not changing how you think. You're not changing politics. You can be a Republican. You can be a Democrat. You can be a Catholic, Christian, Jewish, Hindu, Muslim. It doesn't change you. You're still who you are. Your mind is just in a better place. It doesn't change you. It changes you physiology. It changes your mind. It changes how you deal with everything else. I'm sold. I'm trying this. There's no doubt that I'm going to try this out. And I hope you people in the audience that are going to even minor PTSD, try this out, please. As commander of Vietnam Veteran Memorial American Legion Post 295 in Germantown, Maryland, Ouellette makes a point to reach out to veterans needing help with PTSD. On the post landing page is a platform titled Resilience. Not all wounds are visible. And VA's National Suicide Prevention Hotline is promoted, as are phone numbers for counseling. The site also has a variety of videos, testimonials, and explanations of TM as a possible therapy solution. Ouellette has recommended TM for his children, including his youngest son, an Army sergeant who deployed twice to Iraq and twice to Afghanistan. Wow, 4 deployments. It worked for him, he says. It's life-changing. TM works in part, Nader adds, because it offers for veterans who have endured hyperarousal what any doctor would prescribe after a surgery or illness: rest. We are teaching them a simple technique that allows them to not do anything, to allow the mind to go back to itself, and then the mind heals itself. the body heals itself. What we are doing is giving it a chance to do that. The experience of transcending, of going deeper, gives that inner experience of peace and quietness. Another great article from the American Legion. Thank you again. The writer is that Jeff Stouffer, who wrote that article. Awesome. Can't wait for the third episode of that. In the meantime, let's take care of our sponsors. So all you fit veterans in the audience, get down and give me 22 everyday push-ups for the veterans that will take their lives tomorrow.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring will be here soon, so if buying a new home is on your to-do list, right now is the time to call Quicken Loans. Learn about which mortgage options make sense for you and get a jump on your competition. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com. For J.D. Power more information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed rate loans. Call for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Thoughts of suicide may feel impossible to overcome, but with help and support, you can find hope and meaning. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK to speak to a counselor, or visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. It's free, it's confidential, it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even if it feels like it, you're not alone.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 5,000 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 5,000. Enjoy!
I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pull me up.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council. KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
USA Radio News with Wendy King.
House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff tells the Senate President Trump's administration was applying heavy pressure on Ukraine to announce an investigation of Joe and Hunter Biden.
We're to believe they felt no pressure? Folks, they're at war. They're at war and they're being told you're not getting $400 million in aid you need unless you do what the president wants. And what the president wants are these 2 investigations.
The House managers are continuing to present their case against the president in his impeachment trial before the Senate. Wyoming Republican Senator John Barrasso says to him the impeachment is a partisan effort to oust a political rival.
This was an effort by the Democrats in a very partisan way to bring a case against President Trump because they weren't happy with the results of election and are concerned that they're going to have real problems in the 2020 election.
Before returning to Washington from Davos, the president spoke about the impeachment trial.
They had a phony, concocted story made up. So here's the story. Did nothing wrong. It was a perfect conversation. It was totally appropriate.
He vented his anger on two key Democrats, calling Jerry Nadler a sleazebag and Adam Schiff a corrupt politician. The coronavirus has arrived in the U.S., and the Center for Disease Control and Prevention plans to screen all travelers arriving from China and distribute a faster test to speed diagnosis to try and control the spread. After confirming the first case, a Washington man who had traveled to Wuhan, China, officials at the CDC this week outlined steps being taken to contain the virus, which has sickened more than 400 people in China and caused 17 deaths. In addition to China, cases have been previously reported in Japan, Thailand, and South Korea. You're listening to USA Radio News. A member of the Monty Python comedy troupe has died. USA's Chris Barnes has the story.
Hold your head like this and then go, wow! Try it again. Whoa! Better, but wow, wow! Hold your hands here. No! Now, wow!
The family of comedian Terry Jones confirming he died Tuesday night with his wife by his side at his home in North London. He was 77. Jones acted in and directed several of the comic troupe's most well-known works, including Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Someday, lad, all this will be yours. What, the curtains? Not the curtains, lad.
In recent years, Jones suffered from a rare form of dementia that impeded him from being able to speak. For USA Radio News, I'm Chris Barnes.
The Harvey Weinstein sexual misconduct trial is underway in New York. With some help, Weinstein slowly made his way into court, appearing to limp, while someone behind him carried the walker he's used at previous court appearances after back surgery. Weinstein's lawyers plan to use friendly-sounding emails to show what they say was consensual sex. Gloria Allred is a lawyer for some of the alleged victims.
What HW, meaning Harvey Weinstein, was doing for them, communicating to them, perhaps promising to them. It's a complicated situation. It isn't simple.
Remember, you can hear the news online anytime at usaradio.com. For USA Radio News, I'm Wendy King.
All right, so we're back, and I'm going to dovetail this other article with the Transcendental meditation, because it's just all about getting good sleep, okay? So this article is also in the American Legion, so I want to thank this February issue. Go out and get it, guys. This is a really good issue, okay? This is called The ABCs of Z's by Lance Frazier. 1 in every 3 Americans doesn't get enough sleep on a regular basis, according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. How about 4.5 of veterans out of 5 don't get enough sleep, right? That's from Sergeant Dave Matthews, Remember the Fallen show. Okay? Insufficient or poor sleep can lead to increased risk of auto accidents, poor performance at work and in the classroom, and more. Researchers are learning how a lack of quality sleep affects the human body in other ways too. Alan Abaddon, director of the UCLA Sleep Disorder Center, calls it an epidemic, noting that 6 a few hours can put a person at risk for numerous health problems, including diabetes, elevated blood pressure, arrhythmia, and other cardiac issues. Obesity, too. Lack of sleep produces hormones that stimulate the appetite, and it doesn't take much. Then there's the 1-hour shift to daylight saving time, which I can't wait, which doubles the rate of single vehicle accidents. During sleep, our bodies get rid of toxins in our system, which includes the brain. Get too little sleep, and those toxins build up, and it's not enough just to tick off a certain number of sleep hours. If you get 7 to 8 hours, but your sleep is fragmented, you aren't spending enough time in the deeper stages of sleep your body needs. The REM, right? Rapid eye movement. And you can't just make up for it the next night. While your body can rejuvenate and restore its systems, it takes 7 to 8 hours of good sleep to make up for every hour of sleep loss, Abaddon says. A study by researchers at UCLA's David Geffen School of Medicine and Tel Aviv University found that insufficient or low quality sleep robs the neurons in the brain of the ability to function properly, affecting the way we perceive and react to the world around us. Another study indicated that sleep deprivation may affect the body's ability to heal wounds, and a third indicated that sleep deprivation can be a contributing factor to depression. The best approach is to work on the way you get ready to sleep, Avin says. Often people will read, that's what I do, watch TV, text, or work on the computer until they go to bed. But it's better to focus on getting disengaged from the patterns that keep the brain engaged. Once again, TM, Transcendental Meditation, right? Sleep is not negotiable. Your body and your mind cannot get by with less. If you wake up and still continue to feel sleepy, if you find it's impacting the quality of your life, see your physician. Lance Frazier is a California-based freelance writer, specialized in health and medicine, science, nature, and the environment. Thanks again for that great article in the American Legion. Okay, well, it's that time again already. So a little bit quick podcast tonight. Okay, so it's getting 0:30 for the show, and I'm just about ready to go into rack ops mode. But before I relax, never. One last promo. So go to sergeantdave@gmail.com. That's SGT Dave Matthews @gmail.com. Once again, Sergeant Dave Matthews @gmail.com. That's 2 T's in Matthews, MATTHEWS. For suggestions for the show's content, or if you know a good piece of gear, right, go ahead and email me, please. We need some content for the show. Don't you agree? Okay. So once again, you can always go to Remember the Fallen on Facebook, all one word, and like the page, please. You can also hit me up on my Twitter bird chirping handle as well. Okay, and that's Sergeant Dave @Heroic Memorials, plural, @Heroic Memorials. And you can always go to the website. Now, the website's down, that's right. I took it down. There's too much money involved in that and too much time. So I went ahead and took that down. Need more funding. So, hey, keep us in locked in, focused on for Thursday nights, once again, at 9 p.m. Eastern Time at klrnradio.com. Once again, KL, Kilo Lima. Think of registered nurse, rnradio.com. That's klrnradio.com. From the 6th show down, After the Bible, click on that. Scroll down further. You'll see my episodes. I got a lot of episodes, 84 episodes in there. All right, so we're running out of time, and that should be just about enough. So until all our troops come home, all right, fall out, pop, smoke, out.